Today we're removing the stereo from an Acura Vigor. We're going to start with opening the center console and removing the carpet at the bottom of the center console and removing the two exposed screws. On each side of the center console there is a little plastic cover that covers a screw. Remove this plastic cover, remove the screw on each side of the center console. Set the parking brake, shift to a lower gear, and this will allow you to then pick up the center console, lift it up over the gear shift and back. Remove the cigarette lighter and the ashtray, and in the ashtray opening there are two screws. Next, with a small flathead screwdriver, we're going to pry the small plastic panel out from between the controls for the AC vents. Remove this screw and pull the AC controls from the dash. There is a connector here with a trigger at the center of it that you squeeze down to release. And remove two screws from this opening. This will allow you to pull the entire front panel with the car stereo forward.
Now you've pulled the stereo out of the dash and have access to the back of the stereo. And in order to release these connectors, the main antenna, usually this is a universal antenna, and to remove most antennas you grasp it by the base and it just removes. To reinstall it, it just goes back in and push it in until it's tight. Now connectors are a little bit different story here. We have down the back here, we have the main connector into the back of the radio. And in order to remove this connector, I'm going to use my thumbnail and push down on this little trigger at the top of the connector. This will allow the lock on the connector to release, and usually you can wiggle this connector loose once pushing that trigger down. This can be difficult at times. There we go. There we go. Now this main connector again, there is a trigger here on the top. You can see the little hooks right here. And these hooks go in and lock the connector into place, and to release that you push this trigger down, it lowers the hooks. This goes for most connectors. This is a Chrysler connector, and we have still the little hooks that are sitting right in here and the lock at the back, and you push this down, this clip down, and it will release the connector when wiggling loose. We also have the Honda connector here. This one has a trigger at the center of it here, and you push this down as well and can release this connector. Now all these connectors are keyed, even though they're for different vehicles. Most connectors in the car are keyed differently, so they only go back to one spot, and there's no mistake of putting them in the wrong spot.
To remove the car stereo from the brackets, turn the stereo upside down. There are two 8mm bolts with Phillips heads. Remove these two screws. The stereo falls out of the front of the mounting. Hope this video has been helpful. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching.